skip the street. They start shooting. They shot.
Get up the street. They start shooting. Young Dolph had been under attack long before the bullets flew. Through music, through rumors, and through tension in the streets, his life had been shadowed by threats. And now, haunting footage has surfaced, showing his final moments on the ground after the shots rang out. What exactly was captured in those final seconds? Let's break down the final footage and what really happened to Dolph. The internet's been buzzing ever since new footage came to light during the trial of Young Dolph's alleged killers. If you're not up to speed, here's what happened on that tragic day, November 17th, 2021. Young Dolph, born Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., pulled up to Makita's homemade butter cookies in South Memphis, a spot he regularly supported whenever he was back in town. What should have been a routine stop turned into a deadly ambush. Two gunmen approached and opened fire in broad daylight. Dolph was hit 22 times, according to the autopsy, a clear sign this was a targeted hit. During the September 2024 trial of one of the accused shooters, Justin Johnson, prosecutors presented chilling surveillance footage. The video shows Dolph and his brother Marcus walking into Makita's. Dolph is on his phone, casually browsing the cookies. Moments later, an employee notices something outside, becomes visibly shaken, and runs to the back of the store. That's when the shooters made their move. The footage hasn't been made public. It remains part of active court evidence. But people who've seen it have described key details. Dolph's signature camouflage Corvette is parked right outside, a car fans instantly recognize from his social media. Just before arriving at the cookie shop, another surveillance clip from a gas station shows Dolph in a yellow t-shirt pumping gas into his 2021 Corvette Stingray. He looked relaxed, just going about his day.
The difference when you own your and you making a certain amount of money every year and your is going to do nothing but keep growing and doubling and tripling every year. So you know what the hell you work and it's all yours. Something happened to you, that's your family. You know what I mean? Your masters ain't going, my masters ain't going to that record label, and that record label. No, you know what I mean? Like I got a little boy, I got a little girl. You know what I'm saying? I got nieces, I got nephews. You know what I'm saying? Like Glock finna get ready to have little Glocks running around. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we doing it for, right, bro. Like it is.
That would be the last time he was captured on video. To understand why anyone would want Young Dolph dead, you have to look beneath the surface. Dolph wasn't just another rapper. He was a self-made mogul who prided himself on being independent. He built Paper Route Empire from the ground up and refused to sell out or give up ownership of his masters. In an industry where control often comes at the cost of freedom, Dolph stood out, and that kind of independence made him both powerful and a threat. One of the most talked-about conflicts in Dolph's career was with fellow Memphis rapper Yo Gotti and his CMG label.
You trying to make it a rap beef between you and Gotti, though?
If it's something about you I just don't respect, bro, I can't sit and fake and act like it's all good.
That's understandable.
Know what I'm saying? Right. Like the first time I even met little dude, go in the studio.
2016, when Dolph dropped
right out the studio, like, let me holler at Dolph. Like, man, you got your own everything, bro. You popping. You like, bro, you got the money, you got your team, you got this, you got that. You like, bro, I'm telling you, we can do this, we can do that. You ain't like Zilla. I ain't gotta hold your hand like Zilla. You ain't like Starlito. I ain't gotta hold your hand like Starlito. I ain't gotta babysit you like them. It's my first time meeting you.
2016, when Dolph dropped his debut album titled King of Memphis, a title that many saw as a direct challenge to Gotti's dominance in the city. The move sparked a series of diss tracks, including Dolph's notorious Play Wit Yo Bitch, which went straight at Gotti. Dolph later explained in interviews that their issues went beyond music. It was real-life disrespect and betrayal. The feud escalated beyond words. In 2017, Dolph's SUV was sprayed with more than 100 bullets in Charlotte, North Carolina. Thanks to the vehicle's bulletproof armor, he walked away unscathed. CMG...
It's really safe out here for black men nowadays.
It ain't safe out here for black men, but it ain't safe out here for nobody, though, if you tell the truth, if you just think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't finna have my child around all the email career to go on.
Artist Black Youngsta was arrested along with 2 others, but charges were dropped due to insufficient evidence.
That I have some paper and run up an amount of paper where I'd be like, damn, I don't want nobody to know that I got this paper. I always been real personal and like, let me keep my shit on the under, you know what I mean? 'Cause I don't want nobody to get offended, I don't want nobody to be jealous, I don't want nobody to envy me, and like, that money, that shit do some weird shit, especially with your closest one.
Later that same year, Dolph was shot multiple times in Los Angeles outside a retail store. He survived after being hospitalized for 2 weeks. Yo Gotti was initially considered a person of interest, but was ultimately cleared by investigators. Despite surviving these attacks, Dolph was always aware of the danger around him. In interviews, he admitted to being cautious about how he moved and even spoke about hiding his wealth early in his career. He understood how money and fame could bring envy and enemies. The murder trial has revealed shocking new information. During court proceedings, prosecutor Paul Hagerman claimed that Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook, Anthony Mims, had allegedly placed a $100,000 bounty on Dolph's head. This accusation came from testimony given by Cornelius Smith, one of the alleged shooters, who admitted to his involvement in the hit. According to prosecutors, this wasn't just a random act of violence. It was a coordinated attack rooted in long-standing beef, power struggles, and jealousy within the Memphis rap scene. Young Dolph's death shook the hip-hop world to its core, not just because of who he was, but because of what he represented. A true independent artist who stayed loyal to his vision, his team, and his city. And while the court continues to unravel the truth, the legacy of Young Dolph lives on, etched into the hearts of fans who respected both the man and the mission. Allegedly, a $100,000 bounty was offered to Justin Johnson as part of a plan to land a recording deal with CMG Yo Gotti's label. This added another twist to an already tangled situation. Then, in a tragic turn of events, Big Jook Yo Gotti's brother, who prosecutors claim approved the bounty, was shot and killed on January 13th, 2024, outside Paris.
Let me drop this song about this faggot so it can get me hot. Hell no, this shit getting me hot. That shit doing nothing for me.
Right.
It's the point, bro. It's the principle.
It's the principle.
Don't play with me. Play with your.
I remember because we had
Perignon's restaurant and event center in Memphis during a repast following a family funeral. As of now, no arrests have been made in connection.
Heard of his artist? How did you hear about his artist? He made his artist. Say screen Dolph name. He made his artist bring up Dolph name and tie Dolph name to his name, right? That's when everybody got him, such and such. Nobody never knew him.
Right.
See what I'm saying? That's how he got his attention. Now I mean, you already made your artist use my name to get some attention. I laughed at that. It's funny to me. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's funny to me. Now, not even just that.
Into Big Jook's killing, and police haven't officially tied it to Young Dolph's murder. This ongoing
How did you get popping?
Right.
How did he get it first? How did Yo Gotti get popping and get some attention?
Yeah.
Nobody heard of him to win till he did 3-6 Mafia.
This is true. Okay.
cycle of violence has cast a dark cloud over the Memphis rap scene, showing the real-life dangers that go far beyond music. In September 2024, Justin Johnson was convicted and sentenced to life in prison for Dolph's murder, while Cornelius Smith's trial was delayed to July 28, 2025. Another suspect, Hernandez Govan, is also awaiting trial for allegedly planning the hit. This is a tragic story still playing out, and the footage of Dolph's final moments serves as a painful reminder of what happens when rap beefs turn deadly. The beef between Young Dolph and Yo Gotti wasn't just about music. It was personal and deeply tied to Memphis street politics. Dolph's paper route empire and Gotti's CMG were rival camps, and the tension between them was obvious. Dolph spoke openly about it in interviews, saying that Gotti's crew used his name for attention and that the conflict was never about clout, but about respect and principle. Dolph believed that Gotti's rise came at the cost of others. He didn't hold back with his words, and his diss tracks were more than just entertainment. They were statements and warnings, but beyond the songs there were deeper street issues. Research into Dolph's background and Memphis gang culture suggests he may have been tied to local gangs, something that could have added fuel to the fire. Detective Tony Doss from the Covington Police Department said Dolph's murder likely had ties to gang retaliation, and Memphis neighborhoods like Mitchell Heights and Binghamton are known for gang activity, making it clear that the environment around these artists is full of real danger. The most shocking claim from the trial came from Deputy District Attorney Paul Hagerman, who said Big Jook had allegedly put up $100 zero bounty on Dolph's head, and that this was offered to Justin Johnson as part of a plan to get signed to CMG. Cornelius Smith backed up the story in his testimony, saying he and Johnson were told about the hit by Hernandez Govan and that Govan was supposed to keep 10,000 while each shooter would get $40,000. Smith said he only got $800 before he was arrested. Big Jook was never charged in connection to Dolph's murder, and the claims about him remain part of court testimony, not confirmed facts. Yo Gotti himself has never been accused of being involved by authorities. In a chilling twist, Big Jook, real name Anthony Mims, was killed months before his name would come up in court during Johnson's trial. His death happened outside a restaurant after a family funeral, and while it's raised a lot of speculation, no one has been arrested, and police haven't connected it to Dolph's murder. What's clear is that the violence hasn't stopped. Both CMG and Paper Route Empire have lost major figures, and Dolph's killing opened a window into how deadly these rap feuds can become, especially when they're mixed with real-life gang politics. After Dolph was killed, Justin Johnson was found guilty on all charges, including first-degree murder and conspiracy. He got life with a chance at parole after 63 years. Jamarcus Johnson pled guilty to 3 counts of accessory after the fact, and his conspiracy charge was dropped. He agreed to testify against others and faces 6 to 12 years in prison. Cornelius Smith, who also faced murder charges, admitted to shooting Dolph in court. His trial was pushed back to July 28, 2025. Hernandez Govan, who prosecutors say was the mastermind, is on house arrest and also waiting for trial on the same date. The motive still isn't officially confirmed, but the involvement of people with gang ties and the pattern of violence points to a much larger web of street conflict. Dolph's case is often compared to other rap killings, like Nipsey Hussle, XXXTentacion, Pop Smoke, and Takeoff, all of whom were taken by gun violence linked to gangs or retaliation. It shows how vulnerable rappers are when their fame doesn't shield them from the streets. After his death, hundreds came to the scene in mourning. Fans laid flowers, others cried or cursed, and some just stood in shock. Social media was flooded with tributes, and the city of Memphis eventually renamed a street in his honor to remember what he stood for. Young Dolph wasn't just a rapper. He was a father, a businessman, and a voice for independence in a tough industry. His story is one of both success and tragedy, and the search for answers and peace in his name is far from over.
I think one person then gave me $1, a coin. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you plenty of people that got them and doubted me. Plenty of people that got them that they like what I do, love what I do, but just hate doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that.
Young Dolph was more than just a rapper. He was seen as a neighborhood hero to many people in Memphis. Despite the controversy that surrounded him during his life, his story wasn't just about making music. It was about the struggles that come with fame, money, and staying connected to the streets. The beefs, the rumors, the bounties, and eventually the bloodshed showed just how dangerous it can be when the street life and the music industry collide. Success can come at a price, and in Dolph's case, it cost him everything. Even after his death, Dolph's legacy lives on through the music he left behind. His career was built on independence from the start. He founded Paper Route Empire in 2010, not just to push his own music, but to create a platform for other artists like his cousin Key Glock. Dolph took pride in owning his masters, something most artists in the game don't get. He always made it clear that nobody helped him financially. When he was starting out, he built everything from the ground up without major label backing. His debut studio album, King of Memphis, dropped in 2016 and reached